What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning back in for another video. Today we're going to be discussing all of the items that I bring in the back of my Jeep when I go trail riding, minus a few items. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been riding, but I just have not taken all the stuff out of the back of my vehicle. I want to hear your guys' input. What do you bring with you when you go trail riding? How serious of trails do you guys do? And what are things that I should bring with me that I don't bring? I know the one big thing is a first aid kit. That's definitely something I need to add to all of this stuff in here, but we'll just start from the right and move to the left. Here I've got my sleeping bag. Usually we stay in a hotel, but on the occasion that we do end up camping, I do want to stay warm. Usually I have a much larger bag here filled with all the clothes that I'm bringing, all the sweatshirts and pants and any of that stuff, but I do have a emergency bag here, just an old Tommy Hilfiger bag. It's got towels, blankets, socks, underwear, shorts, sweatshirts, basically anything in there that I would need in an emergency situation. Another thing I've learned really quickly to bring with me is a second pair of boots. If your feet get wet or muddy in the middle of the day, you really don't want to spend the rest of the day in wet, soggy shoes. I also have some zip ties and bungee cords and plastic bags stuffed over here on the side. Working towards the middle here, I've got this service manual, which I highly recommend. Chris Fix has a 50% off code. You can get these online. This service manual always stays in the back of my Jeep. It's been so helpful fixing things. When I had my alternator go out in way out in the boonies, you know, it was nice to be able to reference this for any questions that we would have had. I know an alternator is a simple fix to perform, but it was nice to have this because we could look through and help diagnose the issue that I was having and then come to the conclusion that it was the alternator. I do also bring my impact gun. For those of you with independent front suspension, you know that there's a lot of bolts on there that don't like to come off. So on the off chance that I need to remove a bolt that is much stronger than myself pushing a breaker bar, I do have a very high quality DeWalt impact gun. And then because I'm already bringing the battery, which this is an off-brand battery and it's been full for the past 2 months since it's been sitting back here. It hasn't lost a charge and I've only used it maybe once or twice, but because I'm bringing that, I also bring my grinder with me. I hope to God I never have to use this on the trail, but you never know, you know, someone could be in a bad situation and I can always just whip out the grinder, and I don't know what I would do with it, but it's just, I just carry it around with me because I have so much room in the back. I think I mentioned this earlier, but I normally have a cooler back here. It's like a decent sized cooler, about the same size as that bag. Usually I can just put food, snacks, drinks in there and they stay cold. Moving on more to like the tool section, I got this cheap kit from Harbor Freight. It has sockets and like a mini hammer and some pliers, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, all sorts of things like that. I'll see if I can put a link in the description for that. And then moving on to my Home Depot box here. I got tons of tools in there. I'll pop that open in a second. As you can see on top here, I've got my 30-foot long strap from Amazon. This thing has definitely paid for itself multiple times. It's usually wrapped up a little better than this, but we're making do with what we got. Over here I have my camera, which I'll go more in depth in another video about the kind of camera I use, what I use to edit, just for my photos and stuff on Instagram, just so it makes a little bit more sense. But that's my whole setup I bring. Here we've got another quality Pittsburgh box. This is all my impact sockets for my impact gun, which is also nice to have if you have a 1/2-inch breaker bar. These come really handy, and then obviously for bigger nuts and bolts, those are great to use. But inside my just regular Home Depot box, I just have like an assortment of odds and ends in here. Screwdrivers, safety glasses, knives. I got extra razor blades for my knife. Anything you could think. I got one of the U-joint. It's like a Husky. This thing, oh, this boy is expensive. High quality stuff. Another lug adapter so I can get my wheels off. Just odds and ends. Hammer, breaker bar, a headlamp. That's very nice to have. And then I also have like instead of a cutting wheel for the grinder, I have a grinding wheel in there. More tools, a few hand saws. I think that's about it. This is just like my general small traveling toolbox. Just all the odds and ends have ended up in here, and that's just the things that I like to take with me. Over here we have jumper cables. Those, just like the strap over here, I've used those recently, so They've definitely proved their worth by carrying them with me. Not everyone carries them, but it's definitely a good thing to have. If you've got the room, which as you guys can see, I have all of this room back here, but then my whole back seat is always empty. So if it's just me in the vehicle, I can put way more stuff than I could possibly need, and I'd rather have it than need it and not have it. So in this box here, I'm not gonna move this because it's full of fluids. You can see on the top, there's coolant. I've got some gear oil. I need to change mine. That's why I've just been riding it in the bag until I do that. This is transmission fluid. And then I think that might be all that I have in there. I have some small ratchet straps down there as well. But I believe that's everything that comes with me. Like I said earlier, I know for sure I need to get a first aid kit to add to this. I want to get one of those window things that you can put in there and you can like strap the items to it. I think that would be the most useful way. I know I'm not really like tight on space, but I think that'd be like a great spot to have it. I have dished out, I carry Band-Aids in the front. I've dished out quite a few Band-Aids recently on our last couple of trips. But that's everything I've got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys, I don't know, maybe thought of something else you want to bring with you on your trail rides. Definitely in the comments, please let me know what you think I should bring with me that I don't bring with me. Now keep in mind, I'm not driving from Michigan out to Moab to go off-roading. These are just like general day trips or weekend trips that we're going on. So any advice that you guys have would be great. I would love to see your comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos that I have to come.